Hey everyone, welcome to the Military Gun Guy channel. Today we're going to do something a little different. We're actually going to do a product review. So before I get too far, this company has offered me zero considerations. I purchased this unit. Everything you see I have bought on my own. Didn't get anything for free. I'm not looking for any handouts. They just have a really, really good product, and I think those of you that are into the do-it-yourself, whether it's auto parts, gun parts, whatever, restoration and whatnot, I think you'll actually find this unit pretty much indispensable. Made in the USA. As you can tell, it's a 55-gallon drum that's been turned on its side. They cut it out. They install very high-quality gloves for you to handle the parts. The piece on top, let's do a little talking head thing. So the piece on top, this is the plastic. These originally come with like a Lexan viewing window with these like peel off covers, so that way the sanding media or the blasting media doesn't damage your glass. I ended up upgrading to actual glass, and I'll kind of get into some of the little intricacies of this and some of the things that I did to upgrade mine. I looked at blasters. When I was looking for a blaster, I've had this for about 3 years. I have beat the shit out of it, and it's still in excellent condition. You know, I looked at the Harbor Freight, I looked at the Eastwood, I looked at all the different ones, and it seemed like a lot of them, I'm not going to comment about the Eastwood one, but a lot of them really needed a lot of work in order to be functional. This one needs very little work. In fact, it'll work right out of the box. Made in Texas, Buchanan Dam, Texas, by a company called Lake Buchanan Industries, Inc. The guy, I think his name was Michael, that I talked to. Great guy, very helpful, very friendly. Part two of this video is the foot pedal, which you'll see over there. It originally had the gun, but after 3 years of squeezing the handle on the gun, my fingers started to go numb. So I upgraded to the foot pedal, and literally it was a godsend. This will easily hold about 100 pounds of media. I have 50 pounds of media in there. It's right about there. Some of the replacement parts you can find at Home Depot or Lowe's. You don't need necessarily anything special to upgrade it or maintain it. There were a couple of things that over time, obviously with everything, you know, they just kind of go to hell. So there are a couple of upgrades that I did on them that's made it even more reliable, or actually not so much reliable. It's reliable out of the box, but it actually makes it more, how do I say? Actually makes it easier to use and just makes it more efficient. That's the word I'm looking for. So I'm going to take this thing off of the tripod and I'll show you some of its subtle nuances. Customer service is outstanding. Assembly is very easy. As you can see, they have the numbers on the bottom. You just match it up. Almost idiot-proof even for somebody like me. I did buy the wheel kit because I do have a small shop and I'm always moving shit around. There is, zoom in on them. There is their info there, and I'll have it at the end of this video as well. If you want to give them a call, you can order online or whatnot. First thing, when dealing with any blasting media, I highly recommend you use a respirator. Don't use a dust mask. This shit is nasty. Now, these originally will come with the one light on the left side. I am relatively blind, and I like to see what I'm doing, so I actually went to Home Depot or Lowe's, and I ended up buying a secondary light and installed it, so I have very good lighting inside. One of the other things that I had an issue with, this eventually broke after 3 years. It was plastic, you know, as to be expected. It's high quality to begin with, but like with anything over time and elements and whatnot, it just went to hell. Went to, I think, Lowe's, picked up a metal flange for about $6, painted it black, stuck it on there. The holes even lined up, and I'll never have a problem with that again. You can put some weather stripping or caulking or whatever you want to keep the stuff coming out. The pipe going down to your dust reservoir, whatever you decide. I just used PVC, combination of PVC pipe and some black pipe. I have the Dust Deputy that I got off Amazon, I think for, I don't know, 75, 80 bucks. Some people will run it directly into a shop vac. It depends on how sadistic you are with your shop vac. I don't think shop vacs necessarily, I mean, maybe they'll, you know, over time, like, be okay with it, but I kind of wanted something in between that would sort of insulate the shop vac, but still get the dust out of the environment. Simple Home Depot bucket that collects all of the extra dust that the Dust Deputy doesn't collect. It's just like some kind of a cyclone shit going on, and then it vacuums out, it goes into there, and then the dust just falls to the bottom. Comes standard with a swivel. You see my kids' bikes in the background. It comes standard with a swivel, so you can actually, hook up your line. I actually ended up, even though I live in the desert, I put a water filter on it just because after prolonged use, it does get a little wet. I ended up putting a couple of magnets, and I hooked up the foot pedal. And I did actually figure out what that hole was for, which was pretty much nothing. But we'll go back to that in a minute. So as you can see, it's a robust unit, nice bright red color. Rolls around easily. Yeah, even when it's full with 100 pounds of media, it actually rolls pretty well. Basic on and off switch, same as the others. This is your latch that attaches the front of it. And you can see how they kind of cleverly cut into it to make this thing work. I like how it was done overall. Now, eventually I'll probably, let me get some light on here. Eventually I'll probably need to replace this weather stripping. Again, I've used the shit out of this thing, and it's served me very well. That's with a 75 watt bulb. I use LED. This is the fixture that comes standard. With both of them on, it actually does a really, really good job. Part 2, I upgraded the gun. So I ended up taking the trigger out. I drilled a hole and tapped in a pin to block the trigger, mechanism, and then put it all back together with some tape. The only minor complaint that I would have is that this grate does, it's a little big. Maybe a slightly finer grate would work, especially with smaller parts that if you can't necessarily grab them, they'll fall, and they'll fall into your media, and then you're trying to find your damn part. It's not a major complaint. It's something that if you're just careful, you string it up properly, you shouldn't have an issue, but a smaller grate would probably be nice, but that's like the only little minor thing. These gloves are nothing short of amazing. I've had them for 3 years. They're in perfect shape. I've beat the shit out of this thing. I've done thousands upon thousands of parts, and there's no rips, cracks, tears, or anything in them. So I don't know what they made them out of, but they did an amazing job. Like I said, the gun I'm using ceramic tips. I think you have a choice of ceramic or steel when you order it. I'm not 100% sure. You can also, if you decide to use the foot pedal, you have like a couple of different upgrades you can buy. I didn't choose the foot pedal option when I bought this thing about 3 years ago. In retrospect, obviously I should have, but neither here nor there. It works now, and it works perfectly. These are the ceramic tips. They're only a little bit more expensive than the steel tips. This is about 6 months to a year old, and it's still in excellent shape. 3-pack is actually pretty economical and will probably last you for several years. That's kind of about it from the inside. The inside's fairly basic. I have a couple of trays that catch small parts. Your tube goes along the back, and it goes down deep into the unit, so it actually will pick up your media. You have seals all the way around. It's sealed in here. This has kind of a twist lock system that's used to hold the glass in place. Like I said, this is an actual piece of glass. I want to see how long it lasts. I'm going to try, obviously, not to hit it with the blasting media, but hopefully it'll actually last a long time, because I found that the Lexan over time, just no matter how much, you just kind of, it just will turn to shit. So that's kind of about it. Part 2, like I said, has the installation of the foot pedal. I wanted to redo the actual video of the unit itself because it looked like shit. I did it at night, and the lighting was terrible. So this is slightly better. This is the foot pedal. Costs about $100. You can order online, and you can call them. They actually did not have an instruction video, so I made one. That'll be part 2 of this. And I told them that I would post it on YouTube so you guys can check it out. And I think it holds true with most of the different blasting units that are on the market. The one question was, what does this do? Do you need to plug it up? You don't. You just leave it as is. This goes out to your blasting unit, and this comes in from your air supply. Fairly simple. Chucked a couple of magnets on it so it sticks. Keep it out of the way, otherwise my dumb ass would be kicking it all the time. Again, I used the Dust Deputy as a dust filtration collection piece. Most of my expendables are from Harbor Freight or Amazon or whatever. This is an Amazon Respirator. Again, I don't really recommend a dust mask on these. I think that a Respirator is much better, especially with the shit, between stuff that you're getting out of your parts and stuff that, in the air from the dust itself. I think it's just cheap insurance. So that's pretty much about it. I highly recommend this unit. Like I said, they're about $350. Right out of the gate, they really need almost no work. You can, like I said, you can add whatever the accessories you want, like the wheels and the foot pedal and all that stuff, but it's very well made. Their customer service is outstanding. There is their info. I don't know if you can see it. there's their info there, but I'll actually have it at the end of this so that if you want to call them or whatever, ask me about something, just go from there. Like I said, very well made. This over time actually starting to come apart a little bit. I can just glue it back on. Again, after 3 years of near constant use, this thing has held up very, very well. You know, I read the reviews on the Harbor Freight, the top of the line one, quote unquote, and it seemed like people had to do a ton of work to make these damn things work. These you don't. You know, they're American made. They're very well made. They're a little bit more money, but you're supporting a great company with great customer service. And, you know, it'd be kind of cool if they came like a little benchtop one, because I actually would like a small benchtop one for like glass speeds, because I don't like to really switch out media. So if they had like a, I don't know, 30-gallon drum or whatever kind of drum, it'd be kind of cool to actually have one that I could just like, you know, just do different types of media depending on what the requirement is. So anyway, if you have any questions, let me know. militarygunguy702@gmail.com. Stay tuned for part 2 of this. That will be the install of that foot pedal down the right bottom right corner in case there's any questions. Hope you enjoyed watching it. I'm going to go blast some parts, and you guys have a great weekend.